Sean Gaudreau is very covered up today, Jen, because Sean was stupidly riding one of those one-wheelers with a tank top and shorts on, and check his Facebook. It's not pretty. He ate it like a pro. So Sean, apparently the word is for your birthday this year, you're getting a full set of leathers, like you have a Harley Davidson one wheel. That's the word I heard in Boston. Exactly. Welcome everybody. 12:30 Tuesday, 12:30 Eastern. I see we have West Coast people. 9:30 Pacific. I think we actually have a lot of time zones on here today. In the chat, housekeeping, the chat is up in the right-hand corner. If you have a question while we're talking, you certainly put the question in the chat, and we will definitely get to it. If I or Jen is talking about something of note, Josh will put it in the chat as well if you want to look and grab it, if it's a link to anything or to something. So this week, we try to get feedback from you all the time. Some of the feedback was keeping the call to a half hour, which we've been trying to do. The other feedback was me talking to or interviewing top producing loan people, loan officers, loan people. And so we've been doing that. We've got a lot of great feedback. And this week we have one of my favorite people, Jen Micklos, coming in hot from Claremont, Florida. For those of you that don't know, that is a little bedroom community just north of Orlando. So a lot of the Disney employees actually work and live there. It's a quiet little town, except when Jen's 3 kids are in the yard, correct? Then the town gets a little noisy. So Jen is in in a hot state. I don't mean that from a COVID perspective. I mean from a place people are moving to. So I'm excited to talk to her a little bit about inventory and about how her agents are dealing with inventory. Jen is with Movement Mortgage. She is a producing branch manager, a very consistent 250 unit plus producer. Very, very purchase centric and purchase heavy. So always excited when I get to talk to people that get lots of referrals, because everyone that knows me knows that your job is not to do loans. Your job is to find people who know people that need loans, become best friends with those people, and get them to refer the people to you. Your job is to create a set of new best friends that happen to be real estate agents to refer you people that need loans. Jen is very, very good at that. Very, very good at that. Jen, welcome to the call.
Thanks for having me. Hi.
Yeah, awesome. So full disclosure, Jen and I do work together as well. So I know her business really well. Jen, the first question I'm asking everyone, because no place is immune, is the whole inventory issue. I'm assuming you're having, you're writing 30 letters for people, right? On one property. Are you dealing with that big time there?
Big time, definitely. We had one this weekend. They had 27 offers and they were 30,000 over list price and didn't win the bid.
Wow. Now, are you seeing listings starting to come on in your market? Is it normalizing at all yet, or no?
Not so much yet. I haven't heard anything more about more coming on. We're still really just struggling with what's out there.
Okay. All right. Okay. Awesome. So tell the group, obviously you're really good with your agent partners. I mean, I know you're close and I know you do all the things to be close to them. That's why you have such great business. What are you talking to your partners about the inventory? Tell everyone your sort of your psychology message, because I know you're talking to people all day. I know you're doing B2Bs. How are you consoling these agents that are working extremely hard all the time? What are they telling you? What are you telling them? Share a little bit of that with people. And then what things are you doing to maybe help them do their job better, or to help, their buyer, which is, of course, you're doing the loan for, get that house? I know it's a big question, but just kind of throw it all in there. Salad bowl that one.
Gotcha. Well, it's definitely an ongoing conversation constantly about what's happening in the market and where these clients are. We know some of them are just going in with just slim chances of getting their offers accepted. If you start with a FHA loan, if they can't go above asking price, or if they're not willing to waive things like appraisal contingencies, they're just not able to get the bid. And I know in our area, there's still a lot of new construction. In the past, that would have been they go in and they make 4 or 5 offers and they don't get it. And they ultimately end up going over and purchasing something new, and I lose the transaction. And right now in this market, that's not happening because the builders don't have anything to sell them either. And they're limiting their sales. So in one hand, it's good because I'm not losing that deal to new construction. But on the other hand, I've got a lot of them that are coming back and saying, you know what, we're just going to try and rent, or we're going to find a month to month so that we can continue to stay in the market and get something, but we have to have somewhere to live. Because a lot of the people that we work with are moving here from out of state. And so they don't have the luxury of just waiting for something to come on the market. But people are definitely looking for ways to make their offers stand out. I've had a lot of agents approach me about options for bridge financing and how can they have their buyers purchase something without needing to sell their home. So that's always a conversation that I have with every buyer that's looking to sell and buy is, we're going to do this without you selling your house first, and here's how we're going to do it. And it might be getting a gift from family before you sell your home. We need to talk about creative ways to not put you at the bottom of the list from an offer standpoint right off the beginning, right off the bat.
So let's unpack that just a little bit. We haven't had another loan officer say that yet when I was asking. So you are looking at every client that comes into you that has a house to sell or has a house that they need to do something with. And you are right out of the gate going, okay, cool that you want to sell your house and everything, but we're looking at this like you're carrying it. Like, I want to get you qualified, non-contingent. Like, that is literally first words out of your mouth.
Absolutely. And I've always kind of taken that approach because immediately, the minute I qualify someone who's got a home to sell, the next question that the agent asks me after they go to find a house is, can we do it without selling their home? So I always want to make sure that I know fully what all of their options are. And so we talk about, like, where else could you get money? Could we do a home equity line on the house that you have right now to be able to pull from it to use for a down payment on the other one? How can we qualify you for both properties so that you can purchase without selling first? Because that's a big thing. If you have a contingency to sell, you're out, you're done.
You're done.
So
and are you
selling
seeing
and moving in with in-laws, moving in with family just because they don't have the option? But it puts you in a tough spot because you don't know how long you're going to be there waiting.
So your agent partner's got to be digging that type of creativity. So everyone, the message there is, A, don't be scared, and B, sometimes it freaks people out, to be honest. It freaks the homeowner out. They're like, oh, wait a minute, I can't buy another house without getting rid of this one. They're just freaking out because they already have a mortgage payment or whatever. And, those of you that have been on this call with me for a while or known me a long time, you've heard me using the term pencil selling. All that means is you can actually explain the numbers to someone. Now, I didn't go into how old Jen is and how long Jen's been in the business, but Jen's an extremely experienced loan officer. So it's very easy for her to pencil sell, meaning with a napkin and a pen, and literally work through the numbers. Literally, okay, I know you don't want to have this payment, but here's what it's going to look like. Here's how it's going to work. You can do this. These are the things you need to do. And it's one of the things I tell loan officers all the time. Jen, you've heard me tell the story about DU, about my personal loan was one of the first loans to ever go through DU because of my proximity to Fannie Mae, and how my processor and I, we looked at each other and said, oh, we're screwed now. Now loan officers aren't going to have to know anything because they can just garbage in, garbage out. I mean, I'll tell you, now is the time to be an extremely professional loan officer and really know, because you want to differentiate yourself from your competition. I would say that is a huge one. Sorry, Jen, you were about to say something.
No, I was going to say, I think it is huge, and it's a great opportunity for me to talk with not only my own realtor partners, but all of the people that I come across, listing agents on transactions that I'm working on, and the importance of working with a local lender. So a lot of people come to my agents and maybe they've been gone through Zillow or through, not Zillow, Quicken, all of the online lenders, but I'm helping to give them the dialogue. And even more in this market, it's so important that they're working with a local lender who is going to answer the phone when the listing agent calls, who's going to be there when there's trouble to help get through it. And they know that those internet companies, they're not going to be able to do that necessarily. They're not as willing to share information, to all collaborate to help get the transaction to closing. And so it's super important, but it's something that I'm kind of reminding my agents of every day, is talking to those people and spreading the word that you don't want those internet companies. And so a lot of my agents, especially on the listing side, are saying, look, I see your clients approved, but if they will work with my lender, I will consider this offer. And
Yeah,
so it gives me an opportunity not only to get that deal to help support my agent partner, but an opportunity with another agent that gets to see how we do things differently and why it's so much better to have somebody who's experienced and knowledgeable and local. And local appraisers in this market is huge too. I mean, those are all the things that I talk about with my agent partners of why it's so important and why they need to have somebody on their side that's gonna handle the transaction for them with expertise.
So everyone's heard me on these calls talking about, this is the first market I've seen, and I've been around a while, where we as lenders have a true opportunity to flip the script on the old school agent being the hub of the wheel, and we're just a spoke. Our agent partners need us in this market now more than they've ever needed us in any other market ever. They need a professional loan officer partner that knows what they're doing, that's going to make everyone comfortable, that's going to make a listing agent comfortable, that's going to make every piece of the transaction comfortable. And when I use the word professional, I don't throw that around lightly. Professional, pick up your phone, answer your emails, answer your texts, do your job. You don't turn your phone off for the weekend in the middle of the spring market, in this kind of spring market. You can't do that. But then there's another layer there, professional. And those of you on this call that are and know exactly what I'm talking about, man, do you stand out when you sit and show a contingent buyer how they can buy the house non-contingent without freaking out. I mean, you stand out at a massive level, because you might be 1 out of 15 or 20 loan officers that's actually doing that. It's actually going to take the time and show them. And at the same time, you're teaching your agent partners as well, right along with you. You're teaching them how to better serve their clients as well, because they can start those conversations as they tee the people up and as they send the buyers over to us. So Jen, we were laughing about this a little bit before, but is it easier for you now to doc files, to get docs, because the borrowers know how important it is? I mean, have you been able to get that message across?
Yeah, absolutely. And I also, of course, remind my partners to set their clients up. Like, the market's moving too fast for you to take long to get your paperwork to us. You need to be ready when you do the application to have everything that we could possibly need to be able to give you a letter immediately, because I don't want to be the one ever holding you up from making an offer, but I also don't give out letters that I am not going to be able to close. And that is a reputation that I've built in my community, that people know if I give you a pre-approval letter, or if I write a pre-approval letter for a client, we're going to get to the closing table. So I am going to make sure that I'm not doing that until I know for sure that I can close them.
So I'll give everyone a challenge this week, and you all can come back next week and tell me what happened. You want to do a little experiment, and when you do this experiment, you're going to want to be sitting down, because it's shocking. Ask your best partner, your best agent partner, and do it face to face, what they say when they refer someone to you. And you want to be sitting down, because you are going to maybe want to throw up when you hear it. Okay? Literally, when you hear how they make the referral. It is shocking how much better they could do it if you help them a little bit, and they would be helping themselves. Jen hit something there, and she said, I'm making sure my partners are setting them up. She went really fast over that. So I wanted to stop that, because for a lot of you that either haven't been through crush training or are not doing B2Bs all the time, it's sort of a foreign concept to have your agent partner playing ball at that level along with you. A lot of agents take the traditional, that's your job, take care of it. Really good agents get that if they, add 2 minutes to their referral, they're going to get a pre-approved buyer way quicker when they go to write that contract. So, Jen's partners are referring her probably a little different than your partners are. Now, what I, very slowly over a lot of B2Bs and years, what I taught my partners to say is, hey, now I'm going to refer you over to Joel for your loan. He doesn't have the highest rates. He doesn't have the lowest rates. His rates are competitive. But the reason I'm referring you to Joel is because whatever Joel says is going to happen. He always delivers. So when you go to him, he's going to ask you for a bunch of stuff. I want you to give him everything he asks for immediately. It's to your benefit. He's not asking you for it because he wants it. He's asking you for it because he needs it so you can get the house that you want. Now, if your partners are referring you like that, I mean, I think everyone can just sort of close their eyes and realize what kind of world you're in if every referral came in like that, because it's a total game changer. But the reality of it is, in this market, and Jen's very busy, she spent enough time with her people, that they're not doing it like that exactly, but they're probably, they're probably doing a pretty good job of going, hey, Jen's team's going to ask for a lot of stuff. You need to give it to her. Don't be, because I'm not taking you out writing contracts. If you don't. Jen, how often are you dealing with the 4:45 Friday call of Jen, can you pre-call these people right now? And you're thinking, you've known about this since Tuesday and you're calling me at 4:45 on Friday. When have you done a pretty good job of coaching your people to stop doing that, or is that still going on in your market?
Yes, I coach them, but it's definitely happening. And I see it happening more and more because of the market that we're in. And I think that my agents are equally nervous about a buyer being missing out on a particular property, and that if they don't get them on that property or under contract, that they're going to lose the deal altogether. And so I've had them on Saturday morning, like, we just saw this house and we're going to write a contract. And I'm like, how is this happening that they have no pre-approval letter and they're out shopping for a house?
Yeah.
I had a client yesterday, one of my listing agents sent me this buyer that was purchasing a $785,000 home, and they had not been pre-approved yet. And I thought, how is this possible that any agent's showing them homes, especially in that price range, without having talked to somebody? So, and they, it was a difficult situation. They're just retiring, haven't started any retirement income. So it's going to be kind of a process of putting this all together. But, it's happening more and more because of the market that we're in and how fast everything's moving. So I try to be adaptable to do that, but I certainly remind my agents that it's important that we do this upfront so we don't have these situations at 5 o'clock on Friday.
And just for clarification, everyone, 785 in some of your markets is a starter home. That is not a starter in Jen's market. Just so you know, you can, if you're in a big city, pretend she said 1.2, and it would mean the same thing to you. Meaning, because Jen's average loan amount is what is it right now, Jen?
Probably 240 or 250.
Yeah. So 785 is a massive house in your area. So tell me a little bit about, because everyone always likes to hear, we've been in COVID and people have been in the house, and Jen had a baby in the middle of all of this. How do you juggle it all? Are you just grinding through? Are you making hay while the sun's shining? Give everyone some words of wisdom in this type of epic market we're in, that I know you and I both been around a pretty long time. I've never seen anything like this before, ever. Any words of wisdom for all the working moms and just parents of little kids out there?
I always say there is no balance. There's no balance. Is like a myth. It's like a unicorn that they tell moms that you can do this, or dads too. It's the same thing, but there's just no way. You can't have balance in a job like this that requires so much of our time during so many odd hours. But I always try to just be thankful that I have flexibility. I can leave and go take my kids to the doctor's office. I can go and do things with them if I wanted to in the morning and start work a little later, but I may end up having to work in the evenings. And this year I've definitely spent a lot of time after the kids go to bed and my husband's fallen asleep as well, where I'm getting back on my computer and trying to catch up and going back through my email to make sure, what did I miss? What leads came in, or what refis do I need to get back in touch with? So, I feel like, yes, we have to make hay while the sun is shining and take advantage of the market. And so I'm willing to work extra hours and do those things. But I also do spend a lot of time on on the weekends, really like not working. And I take that time with my family to be able to do that. It doesn't mean I turn off my phone and I don't answer the phone, or I don't run inside and do a pre-qual quickly or get somebody started with my online application while I'm doing something with my family. But most of the time, people who I talk to are certainly respectful of that. And the agents that I work with know that I have a family. And so if they call me on Saturday afternoon and I say, look, I'm at a basketball game right now, I can't take your application, but here's a link to my online application. If you fill it out today, I'll take a look at it this evening or in tomorrow morning when I'm available to do that. And I'll get you an update. Or are you shopping this weekend, or are you flying into Orlando next Tuesday and it can wait till Monday? So I'll always tell my agents that I'll reach out and I'll make connections. I'll contact the people and get them started, but I kind of try to prioritize them so that they aren't taking away from my time. I don't want to spend my Saturday morning, which is the time that I get with my family, doing a pre-qual for someone who's not coming to Orlando for 2 more weeks to come shop for homes. So that doesn't need to happen. Or someone who knows that their credit is terrible and they need work on it, or they're going to buy 6 months from now. So all of those things, I try to have those conversations with the agents when they call and refer them to me before I waste my time and spin my wheels. Because then I would be not only just resentful that I didn't get to, that I took away time from my family, I would just be constantly a crazy person running around like chasing all the chickens.
So I want to add something, or just put a little flavor on something that Jen said. Jen has worked extremely hard for her agent partner to know and respect that she's at a basketball game. For those of you that are taking that message literally, do not do it. Okay. That is not what Jen did pre those relationships. And she has done a lot of hard work to actually really have trusting best friend relationships with these people. And yes, they want her watching her kid score a basket, not talking to a borrower with bad credit that can wait until Monday. Jen, you said something else. Josh, we're going to have to borrow this because it's awesome. I don't even know if you know you said it, and I don't know if it's from a book or something, but balance is a unicorn. That to me was just the best statement ever. If that's from a book or something, then so be it. But what a great statement, because, for years, Jen, I love all these people. We're almost out of time with it, 2-hour work week, 3-hour work week, 4-hour work week. I need my family time for 72 hours. Here's what I do. I turn my phone off and don't talk to anyone. Really, let me see your production, because no one does that. You might forward your phone to someone else, but no one is completely disappearing in our business. But balance is a unicorn. What a great statement. It's all really goes together. And this like work-life balance, whatever. Now, it all goes together. And yes, you need balance in general, but to think that you're just going to draw these lines, what we do is crazy. Then you said something else, which was awesome, which I've told people for years. By the way, Jen, Spencer, who has his camera on, can you see Spencer? Spencer's in a rookie program with John Hess, graduated college like a year ago. Like he's getting the BigJOEL rookie program. I told him, I said, Spencer, you put the time in right now. This is the greatest job ever. You want to take your kid to the doctor, you take your kid to the doctor. You want to be the field trip dad, you're the field trip dad. But it's, there's a cost, there's a price, there's for everything. You might be doing a pre-qual at 3:00 in the afternoon on Saturday, but you're the dad going on the field trip where every other dad can't leave, and go on the field trip. So that was really cool that you said that. I'm glad that you went there. All right, James Loney, it's Taco Tuesday. You're messing with me right now. Don't make me shut down all the trucks down there in Virginia Beach. James Loney's being snarky in the chat, people.
I told him, do whatever Joel tells you to do.
Whatever you said that. Okay,
I
thought you were messing with me. Okay, I take all that back. Taco trucks are on the way. Yeah. By the way, Spencer, I had James Loney when James came right out of, was it a bank, Joseph A. Banks? Where were you selling suits?
Men's Warehouse.
Men's Warehouse, Spencer. Didn't even know that there was a T in the word mortgage, Mr. Loney. So he had the BigJOEL program from day one in 2014, I think. Jen, I want to thank you for your time today. You had some really, really good nuggets in there. And I really appreciate everything you shared with everyone. Jen, if people want to find you, Facebook, you want an email, what's the best way if someone has a question or wants to connect?
Facebook's probably the easiest way to find me, but they can text me or email as well.
Okay. So Facebook, she's actually Jen, not Jennifer on Facebook, Jen Micklos on Facebook. If you want to find her, there will be a lot of cute kid pictures. By the way, the daughter, the middle one, is extremely sassy. But there's all kinds of stuff on her Facebook, and you can connect there through Instant Messenger. Josh just put it in the chat as well if you want to grab it. Jen, thank you so much. Everybody, remember one more time.
That might be my work one.
Because I heard Josh, can you put it personal instead of the work one? I've been hearing a couple horror stories on this. Refis, everyone, they're almost done. It's almost time for people to get back to selling cars. Okay. Remember, if you have a refi, dock, lock, schedule, and close. If you have an unlocked refi or an undocked refi, you are literally holding a bag of duty. It means nothing, and your ops people hate you for putting that in the system. So if you're taking a refi, they will give you their docs. Don't lock them. They give you their docs, lock them, schedule them, and hand them in. Jen, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. I'll let you get back at it. We'll talk to everybody next Tuesday, 12:30. See you all later. Bye-bye.
Hi, thanks for
Bye,
having me.
Jen.